Are you struggling to sell your home for sale by owner? Maybe you've got your home listed on Zillow and you've got more real estate agents and tire kickers calling you than actual buyers? Don't worry, you're not alone. Did you know that 83% of all for sale by owners end up giving up and listing with a real estate agent? But that's not going to be you, because in this video, I'm going to give you an in-depth guide on how you can sell your home for sale by owner without using a real estate agent. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Shaun Nichols and I'm a real estate agent with the Nichols home team in Columbia, South Carolina. Now, don't worry, I'm not here to give you a sales pitch. I'm gonna give you the in-depth, step-by-step process that we use to sell homes every single day so that you can duplicate it and duplicate our success. But let's talk about some of the issues that you're gonna face as a for sale by owner. And the first one is gonna be legal issues. Did you know that for sale by owners are actually sued at a much higher rate than traditional home sales? The reason is that most homeowners have no idea what laws there are regarding the sale of a home. For example, did you know that if there's a leak in your roof or an issue in your foundation, you're legally required to tell any potential buyers about that information? One way that you can help negate that issue is by using the state-approved forms for your specific state. Now, if you're in South Carolina and you're attempting to sell your home without a real estate agent, I'll put a link down in the description for you to gain access to all of the forms that we use on a daily basis to sell homes, including the state required disclosures. The next issue that you're going to deal with is unqualified buyers, tire kickers, and investors. Did you know with your home listed on Zillow, Zillow actually puts you in a special category as a for sale by owner, signaling to all the tire kickers, all the deal finders, and all of the agents that you're unrepresented. Those buyers now know that you're not paying a real estate agent's commission, and they're going to want a piece of that action. They also know that you don't have anybody looking out for your best interest or negotiating on your behalf, so some of the less scrupulous of them may think they could pull one over on you as a homeowner in order to get a deal on your house. The next thing you're going to be dealing with is tons of calls, emails, stop-bys, text messages from real estate agent. That's because of two specific reasons. One, with your home listed on Zillow and put in a separate section of for sale by owners, real estate agents are going to be reaching out to you in an attempt to get you to list your property. They're going to try and buddy up to you and offer you all kinds of stuff, but they're really just trying to make friends so that they can list your home. The other agents that are going to be reaching out to you are going to be buyer's agents, looking to represent their buyers in the transaction and bring their buyers over to your house and show them your property because inventory is so low right now. But most of those agents are going to require that you pay a minimum of a 3% buyer's compensation. And as I'm sure you know, 90% of buyers are represented by a real estate agent. So you can choose not to pay any buyer's agent competition, but you've also lost out on 90% of your potential buyers. And if you do decide to pay a buyer's agent's commission, then you're not saving nearly as much money as you thought you would be by selling it yourself. The other thing that you're gonna struggle with as a for sale by owner is not knowing how to properly price your home. Most homeowners really don't know the difference between a sales price and a list price, or also known as a marketing price. If you don't know what that is or the differences between those two, I did a video on that you can watch after you finish this video. But the number one reason that 83% of all for sale by owners end up listing with a real estate agent is they have no idea how to market a home. And we know this because every for sale by owner is gonna list their home on Zillow. Of course, it's a huge popular website. Now we know this doesn't work because 83% of the people that do this end up giving up and listing with a real estate agent after wasting the time, money, and energy that they took to put the property online, as well as all of the showings and phone calls that they had to deal with while they were listed as a for sale by owner. Now, why is proper marketing so important? If you think about it, you're paying yourself to market this property. That's what you're doing by not hiring an agent. You're saving 3%, 4%, maybe even 5% on the sale of your home. So you've hired yourself and paid yourself thousands of dollars to market this property. Now, if somebody came up to you and said, hey, I'm gonna market your home, I want you to pay me 4% of the value of it to sell it, but all I'm gonna do is take some pictures with my cell phone and put it up on Zillow and hope that somebody comes by and finds it, obviously you would never work with somebody like that. So why do you think you can get away with marketing your home that way? Most homes that are professionally marketed and have professional photos and do a good job with their marketing are sold within a couple of days or a couple of weeks, and 40% of them sell with multiple offers, which means that you're not fighting with one buyer over the price, but multiple buyers are fighting over your particular property, which is what's gonna make your home sell for the most amount of money. So let's talk about my top secret method that we use here at the Nichols Home Team to sell properties for top dollar, and that's called target marketing. Now, target marketing in a nutshell is narrowing down who the best buyer for your home is and who's likely to pay you the most amount of money, and then specifically targeting them with all of your advertising. Think about it. If you own a home worth $700,000 and you're just posting it all over every website with pictures of the interior and all of the nice things that you have in your home, do you really want to target your marketing to somebody who makes $75,000 a year and has a 500 credit score who wants to come by and see the house? Obviously not. But let me give you an example of how our target marketing strategy works so that you can duplicate it and do this on your own. Let's say you own a 4-bedroom home on Lake Murray worth $550,000. It's not on the lake, but you have lake access, right? Let's say the primary bedroom is on the first floor and the other 3 bedrooms are upstairs. It's in a really good school district and it has a fenced-in yard. Who do you think would be the best buyer for this particular house? Well, obviously it's gonna be a family that's making at least $200,000 a year and has at least a 680 credit score, because that's what they're gonna need to qualify to buy this house. Chances are they already own a home, because $550,000 is not a starter home price range in this area. They're gonna be younger than 50 years old, because as people start to get to that 50, 60 years old range, they're gonna start thinking about the future and how difficult it might become for them to travel up and down stairs. They're most likely gonna have kids because they're gonna wanna have their kids in a really good school district, and they may even have kids that are already going to that school, because most people in the country, unless they're relocating for a job, only move within about 3 miles of their current location. And chances are the kids aren't gonna be younger. They're not gonna have like newborns or anything like that. The kids are gonna be a little bit older. And the reason we know this is because that primary bedroom is on a separate floor from all the other bedrooms. As a newborn parent, you're not gonna want the nursery on a separate floor from your bedroom, right? However, if you've got older kids getting into teenage years, having that separation is gonna be really nice when it comes to having sleepovers, friends over, and they're most likely gonna own a boat or some sort of watercraft because you have that boat access to Lake Murray, so they're really willing to pay a premium for that lake access. Now, if you need some help in determining who the best buyer for your home is, first I encourage you to just look at it with fresh eyes. Take a look at your home and think about who would best fit this home and this area. Every home is unique and it has features that will stand out to a particular type of buyer. If you need some help with this, I encourage you to give me a call. I'd be happy to come out, take a look at the property, and just point you in the right direction. I offer this as a free service for any for sale by owner in the South Carolina Midlands. No sales pitch and no pressure. But now that you know who the best buyer for your home is, how are you gonna target them with your marketing? What type of marketing are you gonna do? This is where mailing list brokers or marketing list brokers come in. As I'm sure you know, everything that you do in today's world is tracked by some sort of Google or Alexa. They know what grocery stores you shop at and even what you buy. They know who your cell phone provider is. And all of this information is collected by marketing list and mailing list brokers. And those lists of people are available for sale. That's how Kroger knows what coupons to send you, as they buy these lists of targeted people. So if you buy Huggies, for example, you're probably gonna get a coupon in the mail in the next couple of days for Pampers, because they've bought a list of people who are buying diapers and they wanna target you with their marketing. And you can do the exact same thing using these mailing list and marketing list brokers. So some companies that we use and you can use as well is Leads Please, Exact Data, Info USA, Strategic List, or US Data Finder. I've used all of these companies in the past to target the best buyers for my clients' homes, and sometimes it's even best to use 2 or 3 of those lists just in case a couple of those lists have people's names on them that another list doesn't. Now, when you buy these lists, it's going to provide you with the name, phone number, and email address of the best buyers for your home. You can filter it by price range and credit score, family makeup, dogs, if they're subscribed to a fishing magazine, which if you own a home on Lake Murray, you probably want to target somebody that's subscribed to a fishing magazine, right? So you're going to go to one of these websites and purchase this list of names, phone numbers, and email addresses of the best buyers in your area. Now, you're probably going to have a list of about 2,000 or 3,000 people, but how are you going to get your home directly in front of them so that they know it's for sale? You're obviously not going to call all of these people because, let's be honest, most people don't answer their phones if they don't know who's calling. Chances are you're not going to email them because less than 10% of all emails ever get open. But what you can do is take this list and target them directly on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and even on Google. You can create a custom audience on these platforms and then pay to advertise your property directly to these specific people. So now you're getting your home directly in front of the eyeballs of the best buyers for this property and generating a ton of interest. The whole goal of marketing this property is to get the most number of buyers interested in your home, scheduling a showing, and falling in love with it. And luckily for you, these advertisements run it 24/7. So even if they're scrolling through Facebook at 2 in the morning, they're gonna see your home directly in front of them. This is how we as a real estate team generate the most number of interested buyers for a property. But obviously, if you're gonna be paying for advertising, you also are gonna need to hire a professional videographer for YouTube and TikTok and Instagram videos, and a professional photographer to get the best quality photos for your home. 90% of all home buyers start shopping for homes online. And if you're gonna put your home in front of thousands of buyers, you wanna put your best foot forward so that you can stand out from the rest of the stuff and the rest of the distractions that they're currently facing. You're not gonna be able to do that with your cell phone camera, even if it is the latest iPhone or the best Android. You really need to hire a professional photographer and videographer, and that's only going to cost you a couple of $100. But I mentioned retargeting earlier, and this is where the real power of target marketing comes in. What we're going to do is take anybody who shows any interest in your home, right? They click on pictures, they watch 10 seconds of the video, they visit your website, anything like that. You're going to want to keep your home in front of them because obviously buying a home is not an impulse purchase, right? If they see your home at 2:30 in the morning, chances are they're not gonna schedule an appointment right then and there. So what you're gonna wanna do is be able to keep your home in front of those most opportune buyers that are showing the most interest in your home. Because you have no idea where they are in the home buying process. Maybe they're 6 months from buying a home, or maybe they're looking to go buy a property tomorrow. You just never know. But you definitely wanna make sure that if they've shown any interest in your home, that they're being retargeted with your advertisements so that your home stays at the top of their mind. And I know you've seen this before. Have you ever jumped on Verizon to go buy a cell phone, but then jump over to YouTube and YouTube recommends the 10 best cell phones for this current year, and then you jump on Google and on the right hand side you see 3 or 4 advertisements for different cell phone companies? That's because they've done this retargeting where they've seen you've shown some sort of interest in purchasing a phone, so now they're trying to target you with their advertising, and they're gonna keep targeting you with it until you decide to buy a phone. And you can do the exact same thing on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, Google, LinkedIn, all these different places so that your home shows up everywhere. Now that you've got all of your marketing in place, you need somewhere to send these potential buyers. Now you don't just want to send them to your Zillow listing because Zillow's going to show them your house and 5 others exactly like it. But if you build your own single property website, I'm going to give you a couple of companies that can do that for you. But if you build an individual property website, not only are they seeing all of the details on your home, but you can also ask them to register before looking at those details so that you can capture their phone number and information and then remarket to them, continue continuously until they're ready to buy. Now you can easily build this website yourself using Weebly.com or ClickFunnels. Those are two websites that I recommend doing that will allow you to showcase your specific property without highlighting your competition and keep your home directly in front of the best buyers. You're also going to want to buy a Google domain. This will cost you about $10 to $20, but just buy the domain that's 123 Main Street, whatever your address is, .com. That way, whenever somebody Googles your address, your website is going to be the first one that pops up so that you can capture that information and retarget those buyers. Now, doesn't that sound a lot better than listing your property on Zillow and hoping that the right buyer is shopping on Zillow at that particular time? I mean, if you have your house on Zillow, it actually shows you how many people have clicked on your home and taken a look at the pictures. But how are you retargeting to them? Have you been given their contact information? I can almost guarantee Zillow's never sent you an email telling you that, hey, this person's interested in your home, right? Because Zillow takes that information and sells it to real estate agents. That's how Zillow makes their money. But how are you staying in touch with these Zillow leads even if you did have them? What kind of retargeting are you doing? What kind of advertisements on Facebook and YouTube are you doing? Are you giving them walkthroughs of the home? Are you showing them additional pictures? Showing them some sort of prearranged financing for your home? Because more people will take action if you actually show them the monthly price that they will pay for a mortgage instead of just the current list price. And that's just your online marketing. Let's remember that not everything everybody sees online is meant to be believable. And your potential buyers don't know you from Joe down the street, so they may not trust your listing. That's where custom postcards and sales letters come in. I can't tell you why, but for some reason, buyers trust something that they can hold in their hand. A postcard or a letter, you can get those designed on Fiverr for $50, $60, and you can hire somebody to write some really professional copy, take those real professional photos and videos that you've had done, put them on a postcard and put them in a sales letter and send those out to your potential buyers. And don't forget to include a QR code that links back to your website so that they don't have to Google search your house. They can literally get the postcard, scan the QR code with their phone, and be taken directly to your YouTube link that shows the video tour of the property, takes them directly to the website for them to get more information. Now you've got them pixeled because they visited your website, and you can retarget them with your photos and your videos on Instagram and YouTube. Now I know this sounds complicated, but it's really not. We do this every single day for every single one of our sellers. And if you're gonna pay yourself thousands of dollars to market your home, you should probably actually market the home. Or you could sit it on Zillow for 2-3 weeks, wait and hope that the right buyer comes by, schedule those showings, let them do the walkthroughs, open the door for them, all of that stuff, and then get these lowball offers and try to negotiate it yourself, all by using the wrong forms. And you might even be thinking that all of this is hogwash. You don't actually need to do all of that marketing because the market is so hot right now. But with the Fed raising interest rates, more and more sellers deciding to list their homes, and fewer buyers actually looking to buy in this current market, do you realize that the number of days it's taking for a home to sell have actually increased by 22% from this time last year? That's 22% more time on market, more time that you're paying for this marketing if you're actually doing it yourself, and more time that you're having to hang on to this home, pay the mortgage, let the taxes accrue, and keeping you from getting to where you're really trying to be. So let me ask you this: what's your backup plan if your home hasn't sold within the first 2 weeks, or even worse, within the first month? Are you planning on just doing a couple more open houses and lowering the price? That's a good way to lose a ton of money on your sale. And we all know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But what if I told you you could actually get all of this marketing done for you and still end up selling the home yourself and not paying a penny? Did you know there are actually two common forms of listing agreements? The South Carolina Form 220 and the South Carolina Form 210 are two very different listing agreements. Now, most real estate agents will not tell you about this difference, and you actually have to read the contract very closely to find it. But in the South Carolina Form 210, there's a section that states, "Owner reserves the right to sell the property during the term hereof without incurring liability for any compensation for the broker." What that means is you can hire a real estate agent to market the property for you and still end up selling it yourself if you find the buyer. And just because you've listed the property doesn't mean that you have to sell the home to anybody that that the agent brings to you. So if you're interested in taking advantage of all of the marketing that we do for every listing that we have that hits the market and have the possibility of selling it yourself and not paying a penny for anything, I encourage you to schedule a call with myself or Michelle so that we can go over your specific situation and how we can position your home to sell for the most amount of money. And if you want to know the right way to price your home to get the maximum amount of interest, I encourage you to watch this video next.